So, previously we played Portal, and now we're in the Garden of Eden. Am I understanding this right?
Best not to think about it too hard.
Okay.
There's no way across.
There is. For those who are worthy.
Or those who can fly.
Horsemen, you have fought against the darkness so long that it has mocked you. Creatures of the light will sense it, as I have. In this place, you are worse than a demon. Conquer the shadow, then you may pass. Are you ready to face yourself in the light? Not all are prepared for what they see.
The Mask of Shadows.
Yes. You will see into the Shadow Realm for as long as you wear the mask. Fight well.
Oh man, I didn't know 4Kids had taken over this game.
So, yeah. On one hand, they literally just did the whole, he who fights demons must take care not to become a demon himself thing. And also, they just gave us the Lens of Truth.
I mean, sure, why the fuck not? I mean, this is doing that thing again where they literally just did a Zelda thing, only they put their own weird spin on it, and it's a very weird spin, but, sure, whatever, fuck it. At this point, we're all in. It's all fine. It's all fine.
So this fight is extremely basic. As you can see, Shadow War has a couple attacks. The most dangerous one he has is the one where he combos it directly into the spike, the ground spike thing.
Presumably his attacks are our attacks. Like you would think, right? This is the mirror match. This is the platinum rival battle. Like, come on. This isn't Rocket Ludology.
If that's what you're expecting, you're probably going to be a little disappointed, because...
I mean, no kidding, but the theory, right?
The theory is there, but once he turns into a demon, the fight is over. Like... It's supposed to be a Phase 1, Phase 2 thing, but, yeah.
Yeah, that looked, perfunctory. See, look, they even had a platinum cross counter. What the fuck do you want from this? Anyway, and then War was a demon.
No. We have slain our demons.
And then War wasn't a demon.
I will remain here with the Watcher.
I'm not letting the horseman out of my sight. Where he goes, I go.
Indeed. Go then, Darkling. Make for the tree. You will never reach the other side.
Hurry up. And don't forget who holds the leash.
I'm vaguely impressed with how they managed to make evil Mark Hamill look, like, actually disappointed. It's, like, such a nothing of an animation, but it was absolutely an animation.
So one thing that is a little notable is that aside from being basically impossible to tell at a glance when you do and do not have the Mask of Shadows on, is that unlike in Zelda where, the Lens of Truth just reveals stuff, things that are in the Shadow Realm are actively, they do not exist.
Oh, they're not real until you see them. So you don't have, invisible platforms, you have, actually appearing platforms.
Yeah.
Would you serve in heaven or rule in hell?
The storm is coming, Uriel. Soon, I will need you at my side.
I would follow you into hell, my lord.
The best laid plans, or so the humans used to say.
You did this?
You plotted and schemed to call us to this world. I simply took advantage of your initiative.
No.
I will consider this an offering, Abaddon. And you, my loyal servant, join me and take up the mantle of the Destroyer.
No.
Once the throne learns what you've done, you'll be cast down, dragged in chains before the council. You're already damned. So I offer you this choice. Would you serve in heaven or rule in hell? Now, return to Azrael. Persuade him to help us. Then, together, we will change the face of the universe.
Abaddon must be punished. He bends the law to his will, laughs in the face of the council.
What proof do we have? The seals are intact. No doubt the angel had help, but from whom? Until we know, we must wait.
His act breeds open defiance. The council weakens. How long before we are overthrown?
We cannot stop Abaddon, but there are others who might, if they had reason.
We dare not sin before. Without proof, there is no justice. Only murder. They will see no reason in this assassination.
We will send one, for whom vengeance is reason enough.
The blade is scattered. I guard the seventh seal. This world is ours. Heaven is ours.
You had to know it was a one-way ticket.
You know, there's a vague room for possibility of an interpretation of a story about how war, as an unthinking server of its own ends, might have been manipulated by others for their own gain, but it just can't quite bring it home.
So yeah, that was the rest of the plot, as it were.
It's not nothing.
So yeah, we went to the Tree of Knowledge, and we got a sword handle.
I mean, sure, why not? Honestly, I kind of said all that tongue-in-cheek, but the fact is, I can pretty much see where they're going with this. I can follow along with this. This is, almost actually thematically on point. We're getting dangerously close to actually saying something here. Is it just me?
It is definitely... It's more thematic than I think they were actually going for. I don't think they had thought about it quite that hard. But it does work.
I mean, possibly accidentally. Maybe they didn't mean to actually be anything vaguely meaningful in any of this, and they just oh wow, we actually said a thing. Maybe this whole thing is a coincidence, but hey, fuck it. Death of the author. We can say whatever we want about this now that we've seen it. Honestly, I can respect it.
So, the final piece of the Abyssal Armor is here in Eden. So after all this time, we have finally turned blue?
and we get more health.
Yeah, this is, aside from the costume change, this is the equivalent of getting the double hearts upgrade. Like, you will see how hilariously little damage we take now.
I mean, it's definitely going to be welcome. I just think it's kind of a letdown that it's just a multiplier and a skin change. Whatever. I like the fact that we get what's essentially the Lens of Truth, and there's like 4 things to collect with it in here.
Abaddon is the destroyer.
The Archangel?
He was betrayed. He is only a pawn in some greater game.
You must bring him peace.
Peace? Abaddon is the destroyer. I'm pretty sure peace is off the table.
Did you find any clues among the visions? A way to stop him?
There was a sword, one which broke the seals.
The Armageddon blade. But after the seals were broken, Abaddon ordered the blade destroyed on the very anvil of its creation. Horseman, I fear the blade is lost to us now.
It will be made again.
What else did you see?
Abaddon guards the 7th seal. He plots with others to storm the White Gates. Uriel will lead the Hellguard against him and fail.
What else did you see?
I saw nothing else.
I will open a gate to Eternus. Once it is closed, the garden and its secrets will be lost forever. When you are ready, I will begin.
So yeah, be sure to collect everything.
I'm not entirely sure why he says that, because this isn't a point of no return. Like, there is a point of no return, but it's not here.
I mean, yeah, this isn't the kind of game that would actually have, like, this area with, like, actual things to collect. And then you come here once and never be able to come back and then miss everything permanently. Like, it's just not the kind of game that would do that. Because it's one of those times when the plot would say something and then I'd be like, no, this just is not the game that does that. It's like in Final Fantasy XIII when they were pretending that Sars was gonna die. And they were like, no, come on, we just got his Eidolon. Have you seen the elaborate transformation scene for that? They did not pay like 50 artists all that money to animate all of that shit. And then just have the guy die and you never be able to use it. A game company might exist that would do that, but it would not be Square Enix.
No, that sounds like a Kojima thing.
Yeah.
Seek Ulthane. He will help you. He must help you. Abaddon will have scattered the sword's remains, hidden them where none that walk in the light could find them.
The Shadow Realm.
Yes. Use the Mask of Shadows. Assemble the broken blade. Then, return it to the forge of the Black Hammer. When this is done, return to me. Perhaps I can serve you one last time before the end.
Azrael, at any time you could have left me to my fate. Dead in the tower, lost among the ashes of Eden. Why do you help me now? When this is over, the Council will see that justice is done. I will kill Abaddon, and all who schemed with him.
We all must answer for our sins, Horseman. When the hour of my judgment comes, I will embrace it. Whatever the light decides. Go. Waste no more time on me. And tell Ulthane, he is the last hope of an old fool.
So we're collecting the keys to open the impact crater, right?
Yeah.
Find the pieces.
Yeah, now that we've come all this way, the game's gonna make one last change on us, and it's gonna go, hey, how did you feel about Metroid Prime?
it's kind of uniquely disappointing that they went with this thing and they gave you the not lens of truth that makes things just appear. And that's the only reason you couldn't find these things before, rather than, just have them be there. Maybe you can even find some of them, possibly can't get to them yet. Hell, maybe you can get to some of them.
You can get to quite a few of them, actually.
Right, but you can never actually collect them because you don't have the thing that makes them appear.
Yeah, it's actually, it is definitely closer to what Metroid Prime 2 does with the Dark Visor, so...
I mean, even in Metroid Prime 2, you could find a couple of the keys early.
No, you can't, because you have to, remember that they have to appear, you have to use the Dark Visor to make the things appear.
Yeah, but you get the Dark Visor at, not the very end of the game. There are a couple times where you, early on, you can see the outlines of where the things are, and then later on, you can, I think there's one of the 9 that you can get before the official start of the quest, I want to say.
You are as wise as you are powerful.
It's definitely not like Metroid Prime 1, where, if you're being thorough playing the game, you can collect almost all of the keys.
I think there's 2 I think you can't get until you have the Phazon suit. But otherwise, you can have almost all of them.
Yeah.
At least Darksiders is nice enough to just flat out tell you where they are.
Yeah. That's also true.
Although, admittedly, it doesn't tell you much more than that.
Yeah. Metroid Prime did the thing where it has that it just obliquely tells you the name of the room that it's in. Which, on the one hand, it does very specifically locate the things, but on the other hand, that... who the hell remembers the names of all the rooms in Metroid Prime? And they're like, oh, I remember the name of that room. So that's kind of a weird way of doing that.
So, we are embarking on an interesting little quest, I guess. There is a puzzle, and I'm using that word very loosely here, back in this very first area, where if you break all 5 of the fire hydrants, it will cause a chest to appear. I don't know why this is the case. It's not told to you in any way. The only way you know something is up is that there is a chest indicator there, and there's no... I don't know how you would have ever figured this out, but...
I mean, they should have been torches that you can light. I mean, this game has Zelda pretensions. You put 4 torches in a place. Players will know what to do. It's like psychology, man.
Should also briefly point out that in that last little Vulgrim section, we got the Harvester, which is an upgraded scythe. It does technically reset the scythe experience back to 0, so you want to buy it early on if you are going to get it, but it does more damage and gives you more souls when it kills things. It's a flat upgrade in every way.
Nice. I guess it's appropriate that the Harvester would be a scythe. I mean, let's not overthink this.
So this is where things kind of get weird. The game, in getting these last shards, asks you to do a lot of things where, you use the Mask of Shadows to reveal something, and then quickly switch to, the boomerang or the hook shot, and then interact with it before it disappears. Because there's this weird little fade-out period of, 5 to 10 seconds where after you take off the mask, they're still there.
Huh.
But then they actually do disappear, and then you have to put the mask back on. It's really... It's kind of janky, to be honest.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I can see what they're going for, but that's just, it feels bad. It's not right. It's not how this is supposed to work. There should have been another movement upgrade. Like, it's all very well to have like a final fetch quest, and even to have it be all like lock and keyed off, but use soft locks and soft keys at least. Please, come on. Even if we are going to Metroid Prime 2, I mean, that game had a tiny bit of leeway, like I keep arguing, but, like, yeah, fundamentally it was pretty different to all the others, in that it did it pretty effectively left everything at its designated, oh, this is the end of the game fetch quest points. I don't know how I feel about that one either, although I think even that one was a lot more graceful than what's going on here. This is just
I know, I don't have any strong feelings about, like, the Metroid Prime style fetch quests in general, to be honest. Like, they are... It really, I guess it really depends on just how elegantly they're handled, and this one is decidedly not.
Late game surprise multi-exploring fetch quests are, they're just a thing we're used to at this point. I mean, hell, even this one seems like it's snappier than, oh, I don't know, say, they're looking for the Triforce in Wind Waker. I mean, that's a Zelda. I mean, that's an actual Zelda. This is just a Zelda-like.
That is absolutely... This could have been the Triforce Hunt, and that would have been insufferable. Yeah, so we were told to check in with Ulthane, so let's do that before we finish up this quest.
I mean, he seems like he could forge a thing on an anvil.
I know the truth.
Angels with ambition have always fouled up things for the rest of us.
Abaddon is the destroyer.
Impossible.
In Eden, I stood with Azrael before the tree. It showed me the weapon that will stop him.
My forge is yours, horseman.
You have forged it already. The Armageddon blade.
It's gone.
You can reforge it if I bring you the broken fragments.
But they're scattered. Lost.
Make preparations. I will bring them.
I mean, weren't you paying attention? We have like 4 already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like they wanted this scene, like, immediately afterwards, but they didn't want to dump you directly here.
Yeah. Effort.